Hello there and welcome. This is Alicia of New VA Advice, where I offer business, marketing, and mindset coaching to virtual assistants to help them get out of overwhelm and create a business that they love. Today, we are doing a super fun Q&A session all about being a Pinterest VA and what that means. And I have some wonderful ladies today who are going to help me with this conversation. If you are joining us live, feel free to comment, say hi, tell us where you are joining from. I would love to see that. And my guests today are Kristen Larson and Gina Horkey. Hi, ladies. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, thanks for having us.
So let me tell you a little bit more about our guests, and then we'll get into the questions because there are some really good things that I want to cover today. So Gina Horkey is the founder of HorkeyHandbook.com and creator of 30 Days or Less to Freelance Writing Success and 30 Days or Less to Virtual Assistant Success. Her best-selling online courses have taught over 2,500 students how to start and grow freelance businesses from scratch. Gina built her own successful freelance writing and virtual assistant business in less than 6 months while working full-time and being a mama to 2 toddlers. She was able to earn more than $4,000 in a single month just as a side hustle. Kristen Larson is the go-to Pinterest person, speaking at and conducting several in-person workshops at conferences and for groups across the United States. She is also a Tailwind ambassador and official Pinterest partner. Founder of BelieveInABudget.com and creator of Pinterest Presence and Side Hustle to Success, her courses have helped entrepreneurs learn how to side hustle, launch a blog or business, and master Pinterest. In 2015, as a new freelancer, Kristen launched a successful Pinterest management company that helped over 100 bloggers, online business owners, and brick-and-mortar shops experience explosive growth on Pinterest. Within her first 6 months, in addition to her full-time job, Kristen averaged $3,600 a month from her role as a Pinterest manager and blogger, just as a side hustle. So thank you again for agreeing to join us here today. I mean, that's a huge amount of accomplishments right there. So I'm pretty excited to share that with everybody.
Yeah, we kind of sound like overachievers.
I know, I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's uncomfortable, but I think it is true. You know, it's accurate information, and that's where we're able to pair together our complementary expertise, starting our own virtual assistant businesses and then focusing on Pinterest and in Kristen's case. And we actually met, I know this isn't on your questions, but I think it's a fun fact and way to break into our conversation because she cold pitched me and I became one of her clients back in 2015.
Yeah, that's crazy. I pitched Gina and then we worked together for about a year or so. And then once we got super busy with our course, she ended up going with another Pinterest VA so we could focus on this because I just don't have enough time anymore. But it worked out really well because we got to do client role, Pinterest VA role, and then start the company together. So we've had a lot of history in a few years. So it's a lot of growth, a lot of knowledge between us, which is awesome.
That is awesome. And I think it speaks to the testament of what I coach people on is the idea of relationship marketing, building a network in order to get clients, to get referral partners. And this is a perfect example of that. Kristen, you put yourself out there and made that connection with Gina, and then look where the two of you are now today.
Yeah, right? And she didn't say yes the first time. I was persistent. So
fair. I didn't even know that I would need a Pinterest VA at that time, right? So I had no clue that it existed as a service that somebody would want to offer to me, that I was a big enough deal to even need help in this area. And that is how it had started though. But it wasn't like a perfect story, like she said, but she was persistent. She followed up, which I asked her to do. And then, that's always a really great indicator for me. If somebody says, here's our next step, or if I say, here's our next step, and they, mark that in their calendar and they do what they said they would do, then I know that I can trust them in following through with other duties as a client that's hiring other VAs. So it's a good tip just to make sure that you do follow up and follow through with people.
Yeah, it's a great tip. Follow up and follow directions, right? Well, for those of you who don't know Kristen and Gina have a really wonderful course called Become a Pinterest VA Today. And it's the reason I wanted to bring them here to share their knowledge with you. So I asked you, the new VA advice community, ahead of time, what questions do you have about this whole concept of being a Pinterest VA? And you submitted some really great questions that we went over. So today I'd love to go through and have Kristen and Gina answer those questions for you, and then talk a little bit about the course. And then if we do have time, because this is a 20-minute platform, enter any questions you have in the thread for this if you are watching live. And if we can fit them in, I'm happy to put them in and throw them out during this conversation. So are we good? Is everybody good with that?
Sounds good.
All right. Awesome. Then let's get started. So our first question, and probably the most asked question, was, what exactly does a Pinterest VA do?
Okay, so what's really cool about this niche is that you're a virtual assistant, which means you work from home, you can work from the coffee shop, work anywhere in the world, assisting bloggers, businesses, local shops, all online. And what we specifically do is we help these bloggers and businesses use Pinterest for their marketing. So a lot of people might use Facebook, Twitter, but we hone in specifically on Pinterest because it's such a fast-growing platform with so many people on it. It's such a great VA niche position.
Yeah, and it's a different social media tool than a Facebook or a Twitter too, which is something that we cover kind of in depth as well. People are going to Pinterest to shop. And so it is a no-brainer for companies to have an established presence and get their customers' attention to come back to their website or wherever they want to send them and make a purchase, join their email list, all of those fun activities.
And you brought up a good point. It is a little bit different of a platform than others. So you do need to know how to navigate that. So that leads into the next question that people wanted to know. What prior experience would you need in order to do this? And then what do you need to learn in addition to that to be successful at this?
So you should probably be on Pinterest personally. Make sure that you like the platform, that it's something that you find kind of fun and exciting and you hang out there anyways. Those are the type of people that typically do really well as Pinterest virtual assistants. You don't necessarily have to have any blogging experience or any working online experience. Obviously, if you've done VA services before, you understand kind of working with clients online and some of the intricacies that come with that, that's great. But you don't have to have had that experience because we'll walk you through that in the course itself, which is the entire goal really is how do you help somebody to start a side hustle using this very specific niche service that helps their customers and clients to get experience. Definitely need a computer, definitely need regular internet access. Those are kind of the basics. And then you should be trainable. You should be wanting to learn new things, excited about the fact that the Pinterest platform changes all of the time and that you're organized enough to be plugged into the community and stay on top of those changes and communicative with clients as well. A lot of the basics are things that you would learn to do in operating a successful virtual assistant business, and then we apply them very specifically to offering Pinterest services. But if you don't know how to create graphics, like I'm probably the worst example of somebody that's creative with creating graphics. Kristen's amazing, right? And that's one of the reasons that I hired her. You don't have to be amazing at creating graphics or even want to learn that in order to be a Pinterest VA. And that's not something that most people probably know. But if you are super creative, you're going to love that part of offering services to your clients by creating those pin images and stuff.
Yeah, and what's really cool in the course is we teach you different things you can offer as a Pinterest virtual assistant. So like Gina said, you might rock at creating graphics. You could literally just side hustle creating graphics and pins for your clients, or you could get into the scheduling, managing, marketing aspect, or you could do it all. So we go over all the different options, how much to charge, that kind of thing, so you can have an idea what you feel most comfortable with pursuing.
Awesome. So I like that you explain how it can be for different kinds of people. Maybe you are a graphics person, maybe you're not. I think a lot of people honestly would assume that you have to be heavy into that or a design background in order to do this.
Right. And we, in the course, use Canva, which Pinterest also recommends using. So we go through all the tech training. We also offer templates that do really well. That's kind of separate, but we do the layouts for you if you need that extra little boost of confidence to get you going. But the great thing is for most of your clients, you'll want to use the same few style of pins over and over again. So it's a lot easier than you think.
Yeah, it just takes some upfront investment, which is usually time and trial, right? Like trying new things. So you might try creating graphics and find that you love it, and you might try it and decide that you don't, but that's not going to inhibit you from being a successful Pinterest virtual assistant. There's lots of other elements that go into it, like obviously scheduling out content and doing research on group boards and tribes and all that fun stuff.
Nice. So the next question was, can I provide this service from any country? I think this was someone that's outside of the US, so they were concerned if people hire from all over or not for someone to do this service.
Yes, so we have students from all over the world that have taken our course, and we have clients that get international clients. So the great thing is Pinterest is in a ton of countries. So I know there's Pinterest, like, Canada or Europe, all different platforms. So you can definitely do that. One of my first clients was for like a magazine company in Canada. So that was my first international client. So yes, this is so great. And the other awesome thing is, unlike Facebook or Twitter, where you might find yourself having to always be online and be ready to communicate if someone posts something, with the Pinterest side of things, it's all at your own time. There's no pressure that you have to be doing it at a certain time or monitoring anything. It's, you guys, it's awesome. Like, I'm getting pumped up right now.
Some clients like working with people that are in an opposite time zone than them, because that person is working when they're sleeping and they wake up and they have all this work that's been done, or they can take over on that side of the project. So I don't see the international thing being a barrier anymore. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I do see from US-based clients is they usually want to make sure that the person that they're working with is able to communicate with them. So whether that's making sure that you guys have some time to overlap, if you needed to, for some reason, have like a Skype call, that's usually not required. Most things are handled via email, but it's more of just being able to understand what is needed to be done, and that that person knows what they need to do and that they can carry it out. So that's more of like a language barrier thing. But yeah.
That makes sense. So next question, again, one of the most popular questions. I'm going to kind of combine two because I feel that they go together. People are wanting to know, so how do you find clients as a Pinterest VA? And if you're going to do so on Pinterest, what do you pin about so that people know that you are a Pinterest VA?
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways to find clients. You've mentioned one of the best ways when we started our conversation, which is really relationship building, right? And we go into numerous different options within the course and kind of specific strategies, as well as templates and tools that you can use to put yourself out there. A lot of the times people don't know where to look for clients or what to say when they encounter an opportunity. And that's kind of the information that we want to make sure that you're armed with to be able to do that. We talk about having a Hire Me page on a website. A website isn't 100% necessary by any means, but it's a very helpful tool in the world that we live in, especially for those that want to have a virtual business, right? It's a business card, it's a storefront. It makes you look very legitimate. Again, not 100% necessary, but it's everything from trying to encourage inbound leads to that website or to get in contact with you wherever that contact profile is, to doing the outbound research and networking and prospecting as well. I think I cut you off, Kristen, so I'll let you chime in too.
No, I was going to say, well, when it comes to doing the pins on Pinterest, you can create pins that just say like how to hire a Pinterest VA, or make your pins link back to your Hire Me page. That's really helpful. If you do have a blog, you could write a blog post about maybe your success with Pinterest, like a case study, and then create a pin that links to that to kind of show your social proof. So I think those are two different types of pins that would be really beneficial if you're just starting out.
Yeah, but basically knowing who would make a good client for you, what services you want to offer, what you're charging, and then how to get in touch with those clients to start those conversations is the biggest part of it, right?
Yep.
And I mean, like you said, it's really like you're finding any other clients for another service that you might offer, but especially focusing on Pinterest, if that's where you're looking to get clients, you want to show them that you're there as well.
Yes.
Before I get into some other questions, so tell us a little bit about the course. The enrollment period for the next live run of the course is, as of this broadcasting, is coming up very soon. Mm-hmm. And I just want to let people know that they are able to get on a wait list now if they want to be notified when it starts. So tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So it's 6 modules long currently, and includes everything from video content to text and some audio. As Kristen mentioned before, we have a whole bunch of tech training so that we can show you exactly how to do things. Sometimes that's the hardest part. If you've never done it before, to see it done via video and then be able to go and repeat that process for yourself or for your clients. We cover everything from, knowing how to market your services, which part of that is understanding what it is that you do, the services that you offer, the rates that you charge, going after those clients, and then the working with them part of things as well. So the delivering of services, the managing of the client relationships. What else did I forget?
Well, and we have some really good bonuses too that include live Q&A sessions that we have previously recorded where students would ask us questions that we could answer. And then we've also interviewed successful students. So you'll kind of hear their story about how it went for them taking the course, how they got their first client. So it's a lot of really insightful information to hear from another student.
Yeah.
So
and it's encouraging.
It sounds super comprehensive, which I think people are looking for when they want to get into something like this, right? They want to know all of the stuff, not just the how to, but give me examples and show me, how to do this. And then, instructional, but also fun too. It sounds like you guys have fun in there.
We try. It's comprehensive, yet we've tried to break it down so that's kind of the least path of resistance to help you to get results, right? So there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to start this business and start profiting from it within month 2. Yep. As long as you're putting yourself out there, you're finding clients, and clients are everywhere. Like, look at how many small businesses exist worldwide. I mean, you can work for big businesses too. There's no reason that you can't be working for more of a Fortune 500. Is it going to be a little harder to land them as a client? Absolutely. But the number of small businesses that exist is astounding. And it's just, not everyone, a lot of businesses should be present on Pinterest. Some of them are, and they're not maximizing their current presence at all. Some of them aren't on there at all, but they should be, because it would be a good marketing tool for their business. And others are on there and they're doing it. They just don't want to necessarily do it themselves anymore. So they would be open to somebody taking that over for them.
Yeah, and we show students too, like how to kind of level up. So, in the beginning, if you're brand new, you might work with newer bloggers, but then as time goes on, you get experience and confidence, and it's time to raise your rates. You can go after bigger clients. So it's kind of never ending your potential to keep increasing your income.
And like you said, it is fun, because if you're on Pinterest anyways, and you're doing it for somebody else, and it's kind of like a puzzle and a challenge, right? To help people to get more results. Does that mean that their Pinterest traffic is always going to go up and up and up and up? Absolutely not. But it's something that you're helping them to get specific results from their business, and you're understanding why they're using the platform in the first place, and being the liaison and helping them to get those metrics, whether it's more website visitors or email signups or, sales.
Yep.
Awesome. I cannot believe this time is completely flying by.
It is? Oh no. It went by so fast.
I know. So of course, if you have other questions, I'm sure ladies wouldn't mind, answering a thing or two, but certainly check out the course page for more information. And I'll also give you a link to a really great prep workbook that the ladies have offered to us as well. And I just want to mention, people ask a lot of questions about, how often do you pin and repinning? And so how do you handle, things change all the time with tech. How do you handle that with Pinterest in your course?
So we have a supplementary community that's called the Pinterest Post, and new students get access to this community for 30 days as a part of their course enrollment. And then after that, it's currently $39 a month. And our goal, because this platform changes so quickly, is to be able to continue to offer that support. So mentorship, we're actually doing a Q&A right when we get done with you today, because Pinterest just had some amazing and huge changes. And we want to make sure that we're arming our people with this knowledge so that they can have effective communication and conversations with their clients. Their clients are feeling confident that, hey, this Pinterest VA or manager of mine has my back. They know what's going on. They're making suggested changes. So we're keeping them in the loop with that, as well as when we encounter people that are looking for a Pinterest VA, we send those leads out through that community as well. And we answer tech training questions as people are getting their business up and running too.
And it's fun because we get to encourage each other and cheer each other on. And it's just a really nice environment. And it's just super helpful. So it's been a great asset for everybody.
Yep.
Awesome. So it's very comprehensive and it's updated, which is great.
Yes.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much. Thank you, everybody who stopped in live. Like I said, if you have other questions, leave them below and we will get to them. But I appreciate your time today. I hope this was helpful for any of those of you who had questions about this concept of offering Pinterest services. Of course, check out Become a Pinterest VA today because you're going to get the most comprehensive training if it's something that you're interested in. So thank you so much, ladies. I hope that you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.